hi, I'm Alex Moore. I'm 26 years old, and I work in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill as a communications director.
Okay. Well, I would imagine for many reasons you're like, I'm good to get out of Washington for a little bit.
So, literally, it's leaving the D.C. swamp for the Fiji jungle.
We literally walked through a swamp.
I literally have mud all on my feet right now. Like, you don't even know how many layers deep it is. But it is... The last couple months of my life have been a nightmare, I will say. It's just so much going on. And, like, for everyone, no matter your party, it's just, like, news is changing by the day. And so it's, like, my job as communications director, it's front line. Like, I am directly responding to what's going on. And so it's madness, whether it's telling Elon Musk to shut the fuck up, or whether it's literally just staying quiet so a bad clip of my boss doesn't air. And so it's like, our job is to get the message out and really just try and connect people. Like, a lot of people feel, I'm on the phone with people who are crying literally every day. And so being in Fiji is a great escape, and I know that I have an awesome team back at home who are really handling this, so I'm just so grateful to be here.
So then let's talk about what got you there in the first place. Was politics something you were always looking to do? Was it always specifically going to be in communications as well?
Yeah, so I went to journalism school, so I think that was an easy, like, realm into the communications world. I tried being a reporter. Not my thing. I like having the tea. I don't like having to search for it. And so that's kind of how I landed in the communications part. But then I've always been involved in the community. Like, I grew up in the town I went to college in. I was like 10 minutes from home. My parents would like do my laundry, they'd like bring snacks for my friends. And so it's like, I kind of saw my job as like, so I was at Northwestern University, which is in Evanston, Illinois. And basically it's like, I work to bridge the students and the community. And so I kind of saw politics as that natural way where it's like, okay, bridging people together, like fighting for a greater good. And so that's how I landed on Capitol Hill and literally got promoted to the communications role within a year. And that's like, it's something that I like dreamed of at like, when I was like 30, not at 23. And I like, became one of the youngest communications directors in the history on Capitol Hill, which is so weird to say. I had no fucking clue what I was doing.
So what is that like for you? Because listen, we'll talk a lot about perception, and I'm sure, especially considering politics is a world where there are so many people that have been in it for so many years.
Yeah.
I imagine that they're going to look at this fresh-faced young communications director and have a lot of opinions about that.
Yeah. People had no idea who the fuck I was, why I was in the room. They literally were like, get this kid out of here.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of imposter syndrome. It was like, why? Like, even my boss, I love her and we're besties now, but she was tough on me because she really wanted to make sure that I could handle it. And so it was a lot of sleepless nights and proving myself, but I like never stand down to a challenge. And that's going to help me here because I'm in it to do whatever it takes, I'm going to leave no stone unturned. So many people want to be here right now and want to play the game. And so I'm going to go balls to the wall because just sitting back is not going to do anything, and that's not going to get you the money, and it's not going to win. So I'm ready, and in my life, I had to prep and do all this to try and be a communications director when I had no idea what was going on. So here, I'm thrown on an island, literally, I don't even know what time of day it is right now, I'm like sleep deprived, but it's just the fact that I'm going to do what it takes to win and make those connections, which I do in my personal life.
Well, let's talk about what brought you from the House of Representatives to the sanctuary, if it will. So talk to me about your history with Survivor and what made you decide to put forward your own campaign, to be honest.
No, I mean, it was definitely a campaign. I had posters hung up, but it's something that I watched with my family growing up. We are huge CBS reality show fans. Like when my friends were watching Nickelodeon, my family was watching Survivor, Big Brother, Amazing Race. It was kind of weird,
Yeah.
So it's like I'd be talking to my teachers about like what was going on in Survivor.
Oh yeah.
And so then I like was that kid who was like eating the bowl of ice cream, watching Survivor, and I thought, I could do that. And so
you say ironically enough as you're eating something that you would not be able to eat over 26 days.
No, exactly. I had ice cream last night, so that was pretty delicious. But then I got to high school and started this Survivor Club with teachers and students. We had a text chat, so some people might think it's a little spicy, but no, it was purely Survivor related. And basically, we bonded over this. It brought us together, like kids who from all different backgrounds, all different nationalities, that type of thing, coming together, talking about Survivor. And so not a lot of Spanish was getting done. It was supposed to be Spanish class, but we were talking about Survivor. We even wrote Jeff a letter trying to get to the finale of Heroes versus Villains. He did not respond, so I'm a little salty.
Is this why you came out here to be like, Jeff, I'm here because I just have a bone to pick?
My campaign was to hold up a poster saying, Jeff, I will not forget. No, it was literally that moment when I was like, I just need to do all I can to get on this show. And so being here now is surreal. Like, I applied last year and I basically didn't hear back. And then a casting producer reached out this year and was like, hey, remake your video, you know, be authentic, that type of thing. And here I am sitting in Fiji right now.
Well, let's look back upon, you know, the previous portraits lining the walls of this this Oval Office.
Beautiful portraits around.
Exactly. So give me a winner and a non-winner who you identify with the most.
Yes. So I think for a winner pick, I would choose Yul because he was so diplomatic. He was like, he played like a politician. You have to shake hands, kiss babies. He didn't piss people off. So many people in Survivor, like, will make someone mad. They'll ruin a friendship. Yul's kind of acted like his hands were tied. He was kind of just like, oh, you know, like, I'm being forced to do this. I don't want to vote you out. And that got him far. And that's how I'm going to be. You know, I'm kind of like I'm a little sneaky. And so it's like, people might think, oh, Alex believes this or feels this one way, but it's like, I'm putting on a front, you know? I work in politics. You have to be able to kind of like not show your cards and be friendly to everyone, but in actuality, it's like, that person's gone. And so Yul, I definitely identify with. And then in terms of a non-winner, Sam from season 47.
There we go.
Was literally, I think, who I want to be in this game, because he was able to kind of fit in with everyone. You know, we're both from suburbs of Chicago. Like, we're both kind of like these sporty guys, but also like, he did theater, I was in student council, like I did some stuff like that, where it's like you're able to connect with these different facets. And like, he's goofy, I'm goofy. Like, when he was talking about, I remember sitting at home, he was talking about the fruits that he's never had. And my friends literally all texted me. They were like, that is you right there. I like don't even know what some of this shit is. There's stuff at Ponderosa right now. I have no idea what I'm eating. But it's like, I'm trying new things. I'm out here in Fiji. When else am I going to do this? And so I really can appreciate Sam.
So what was your favorite moment in Survivor history? Was it Sam revealing his palate to you, or something else from the various seasons around you?
No, I mean, that is a great question. There's so many good moments. I mean, I've just been reminiscing kind of as I am like coming out here.
There's this thing that you're sort of like walking in the footsteps of some legends that came before you, as you're a legend in the making.
And I'm gonna win. So my frame is gonna be in this Oval Office. It's a very wacky moment, but it's on the top of my mind, and it doesn't speak to anything about me. It just speaks to how funny and iconic it was. It was the season when at Final Tribal Council, it was brought up about, how does this relate to the bedroom?
Oh, yeah, Natalie Bolton in Micronation.
Literally, I was like, my mouth dropped. I was young at this point. Like, I had no idea. And now, like, rewatching all the seasons as I'm coming out here, I'm like, that was fucking hilarious. Because it's like, I like kind of see where she was going with it in a way. Maybe not. I don't know. But like, it was just funny, and she was being herself.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do out here. Is just like, who cares what people think? It's just like, people try to put you in a box all the time, but it's just like, do what you want, say what you want, and we're here to have fun. There are so many people who are literally not even smiling. It's just like, we're fucking in Fiji right now. Like, have fun with it. And so, like, Natalie, I can appreciate. Thank you for your sex question.
Very out of context moment. I love it. I love it. So when it comes to, you know, one life experience you feel has prepared you most for the game, I think on the surface it would be an incredibly easy answer to be your day-to-day.
Yeah.
Is that the case, or is that something else that you feel is making you more appropriately able to play all this?
I mean, that's such a basic answer, so I don't want to give my job, because of course that's prepared me to be out here talking with reporters, doing everything like that, hiding things. But then in terms of a life experience, I think it's where I grew up and my background. Like, basically, I grew up in like a cultural melting pot. It's Evanston, Illinois. It's basically so many backgrounds, different cultures, nationalities. The movie Mean Girls is literally like based on our high school. It's like, there's the cliques, I was class president. And so people, I kind of thought of it as like a popularity contest, whatever, but people saw me as this connector, you know, they saw me as the person that is able to go between the social cliques and the dynamics and bring people together and have a fun senior year, have a fun time in high school. And so I think my experience kind of just growing up in such a diverse area and kind of just being friends in every group. Like, there's so many cliques, but it's like I'm the like floater going around.
You're the glue guy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, glue me up, But that's what I'm gonna be for my tribe, I want people literally sticking to me, all different types, and I'm gonna be like, and I'm also kind of the office gossip too at work, and so it's kind of just like people are coming to me with information, and it's like I'm like, oh, this person said this, My friends know that no secret is safe with me, but there are definitely some secrets that are like I won't say, but most of the time you have to like give a little information to get what you want.
You talk about secrets. Are you going to be upfront with your occupation to people?
There is no way I'm telling people I'm involved in politics, and it's kind of sad, honestly, that I can't tell people. But we are just in such a divisive time right now, where people are divided, and I don't want any judgments coming in. It's like I live in a neighborhood that is known as the Republican neighborhood in D.C. I have friends who are Democrat, Republicans, whatever. It just is sad that there's like Republican bars, Democrat bars, that type of thing. But that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
And so basically, I'm going to be telling people that I'm a public affairs consultant in D.C., which is still very similar.
Right.
But it's like I have corporate clients, nonprofit clients, and so it's not that direct political like affiliation, which would really turn people off. I think.
What's your biggest superpower and your biggest piece of kryptonite that you're bringing here?
Yes. I think my biggest superpower is that I am so empathetic, that I am the person all my friends come to. Like, I can be, if someone's relative is sick, they'll come to me to talk. But then the same night, a friend could be like, let's go get drinks and get drunk, and I'm there. and so I'm just that person who like can recognize the moment and see what someone needs. And that's going to help me. I'm going to be the person here that people can't live without. And so they're going to like want to keep me around, that type of thing. But then my biggest kryptonite is I'm a softie. I'm just like, people can sometimes try and take advantage, especially if it's a cutie who I'm single. So it's like, if there's a cute girl basically being like, Alex, like, we should vote this way. It's like, I need to get her out soon so she's not able to convince me.
Now it makes sense why you resonated with Natalie Bolton's question.
I mean, that's all I have on my mind, clearly. But no, I mean, I think it's just knowing that I need to play for myself. Like, so much of my life is prioritizing my boss, prioritizing my friends, and it works well in the real world, but this is a game for $1 million. And so I'm not going to be one of those people who is just kind of doing what other people want. It doesn't benefit them and they lose the game. It's like, if I need to vote out my best friend, I got to do what I got to do.
So when it comes to perceptions, I mean, you are working essentially in a field of image management, making sure that the image is something particular is presented to other people that are looking for any and all excuses to, tear them down in the process. So how do you think you're going to be perceived out here? Are you doing anything to play up certain perceptions, as you were sort of talking about with like being regarded as the kid amongst the DC communication directors?
So I think my fellow castmates would see me smiling nonstop around Ponderosa right now. I just want to come off as that friendly, laughing, joyful guy, because that's so much more inviting. Like, there are these motherfuckers who are like stone-faced. It's like, of course I'm gonna vote you out first. Like, you're clearly not giving into the experience. I don't know. We're here to have fun, and it's just like, make friends. And so impressions start early. It started when we got to the airport, So of course I'm going to give everyone a fair shake, but it's like, that's going to carry over into the game.
Well, let's talk about some of these stone-faced motherfuckers, shall we?
Gosh.
So, because I know you've been making some judgments. It'll be the opportunity now we can gossip.
Yes,
this is
my specialty.
your natural environment. So let's start on the good side of things. So let's start, with the possible allies. So you can either describe them, give initials, etc. Who are some people you're already eyeballing as like, best case scenario, we're hitting the beach, ride or die?
No, I know. So there's two people that stand out. So let me just preface this by saying I've given everybody nicknames.
Yes.
So there is in my notebook like a list of 17 other names, and it's just they relate to me in my personal life. They relate to how they look, whatever. And so the first one is Mama K, and her initials are KM, and she is just the sweetest mom-like figure. She might not even be that much older than me, just like kind heart, always smiling. She like there was music playing at the airport and she was kind of dancing a little, and I'm used to, I'm friends with my teachers. I work for an 80-year-old congresswoman. Like, I am used to older women. And so it's like, if I have to make an ally with someone who is like very different than me, that's something I'm totally comfortable with. And Mama K is definitely, I can't wait till I tell her that I call her Mama K. And then this is going to be a hot take. There is a guy who I call Snooki. And
okay.
And Snooki is like every single guy you would see DJ on the Jersey Shore. He is just very outgoing, just like this gym tan laundry. I think he was doing push-ups by the pool yesterday. But he is like in it, and I know that he's going to be a threat, of course. He's like the strongest one out here. But I'm like getting in with the people who are loud and kind of just in people's face. And it's like, if he's the target, like I'm going to kind of just like work with him and like be a little bit under him. And so I'm definitely looking forward. We've exchanged some smiles, so I'm hoping that can carry into the game.
Working our way to the other side of the aisle here. Yes. Are some of these stone-faced people part of your list of those that you don't want to work with, or are there other people?
So I am going to be very political in this answer because I'm going to give people the chance,
of course.
Know? Like I'm going to get to know them, but there is a man, super tall, wears a fedora all the time. I think his initials are NM.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a nice guy, but he looks like he is out for blood. Like, he does not give a smile at all. Like, he is just serious. When we got to the airport, earphones in, like, was not, like, trying to be involved with anybody. And I'm just like, come on, just, like, give me something. Like, and he, like laughed at me when I like dropped something in line for getting food. And it's like, that's fine, we're not boys yet, like, laugh at me once, you smile at me at least. And so I think I'm a little skeptical, but definitely looking forward to getting to know him. And then there's this other person who I'm not sure his initials, kind of shorter. He wears like eccentric patterns.
Okay.
Really nice guy. I'm trying to think of his initials.
What's he wearing today?
He is wearing like a brown shirt that's like a V-neck.
Okay.
And shorts. Just like you can tell, very quiet. Seems like the nicest guy. Just very considerate. But he has had his face down in video games the entire time. And I'm kind of just like, we are literally in Fiji for the first time. Like, please look out the window, And so this is just me gossiping, being the bitch that I am.
There we go.
But like, it's just like, I think I like you, but show me a little bit more. And so there's definitely some other people who are quiet, but it's just like anyone who the majority of people are smiling, which is very friendly and great. So we'll see how that translates.
So you are someone that is always about kind of picking your head up and taking in the environment around you. Does that translate into hunting for idols? What is your take on how much you're going to incorporate those advantages, journeys into your game?
Yeah, I think that I've developed this kind of like motto in life where it's like, why not me? It's like someone else is going to have this power, this advantage. Why the fuck would I not want it to be me? It's like, I want to be able to do what I can do to get far in the game. And so that's going to involve journeys. That's going to involve idols. Like I said, I don't even know what time of day it is right now. And so it's like, I'm going to be waking up. Like, I was just watching season 40, and it's like Tony was up early looking for idols. He literally couldn't even see, just poking around with a stick. Why would I not do that? And it's like, I'm the social guy who like is going to be the one who's like, oh, they're out looking for an idol, and like put a target on their back. But if no one knows you're doing it, then that's a lot better. So you just have to be secret about it. I do not understand. I absolutely hate this. Why people tell others that they found an advantage. We see it in 48. Like, people are going home because either they told or didn't tell, but you just shouldn't tell.
That's very specific to Cedric in particular.
I know. Cedric is, a very unique situation, but it's like, keep everything a secret. Like, knowledge is power, and you need to be able to have that to yourself. And keep that under wraps.
You talk about knowledge is power. I'm going to put yourself in Probst's shoes for a second here. If you could bring in a previous twist, either from a new era season or one beforehand, or you get the chance to make up your own twist that is guaranteed to be in Survivor 49, what would you want to see?
Yes. So the selfish part of me who wants to win the game would say, please bring back Redemption Island because I need as many chances as I can to win the money. But I think that it's very unfair, honestly, and like lots of respect for season 40, but I just think that it was like almost offensive. Like, I think Michelle not getting a single vote at the finale was just like, she was in the entire game,
right?
And like, I get it. I think it was Natalie who came back.
Yep.
It's like Natalie worked her ass off and she deserved it. to get back in the game, but it's kind of just like, for Michelle not to get any recognition was killer. So I think selfishly at Redemption Island, just so I can have more chances to win.
Well, I guess on that note, what is your hottest Survivor take? Your most controversial opinion?
God.
Let's do some more gossiping here.
I know. I do have some pretty hot takes.
Yeah, let's do it.
So maybe this is even conspiracy theorist
okay,
territory.
all right.
I work with a lot of interesting people in
Tinfoil
Capitol Hill,
buff.
But the Margarita curse is fake news.
Okay, all right.
It is. I see TikToks about it. They have not met Alex Moore. They do not know I am a king for margaritas. And so I am going to take that happily, down it in front of everybody, and win the game.
Wow.
And so I think people who say, my sister shot me a text before leaving. She's like, do not take the margarita. And so this is a fan that my family
I was going to
knows.
say, this speaks to how entrenched of the fandom your family is, that it's like,
Yes.
I have not thought about anyone mentioning the margarita curse just out loud. It's a very terminally online Survivor phrase, and now you brought it to life.
It is just very much so something that I think about, because there's so many nuances to this game.
Yeah.
And it's, people don't like it. People don't like when I say it. They're like, Alex, shut up. But it's a big deal to me because I know that on day 20, I'm going to be dying for a drink, and I'm used to my DC happy hours, and so I want my margarita.
There we go. Well, let's talk about a situation that might drive you to drink, in a manner of speaking, because sometimes in the new era we have these, again, to go back to an online term, these disaster tribes, right, where they keep going back.
Oh my God.
So talk to me about this. Like, is this a scenario you're prepared for? Do you find that your gameplay is going to change if that scenario arises?
Yes. So I think that we've seen it year after year. I haven't seen 48 like how it goes because we left beforehand, but Mary's the only one left from her tribe. And you could tell from the start they're weak. Like they're weak, and it's funny because coming out here, my dad's advice was, get on a good tribe. My dad has watched the show forever. He knows that I have no choice in my tribe.
It's like the NFL draft where you land a good pick.
And I'm like, Dad, I have no choice. But it's true. I want to make sure that we have a well-rounded group, but there's no way that I can do that. And so it's really going to be adapting to what situation comes. And so if I'm on a disaster tribe, it's like, who wants to vote out the glue guy? I don't want to be the one who gets mad and yells at everyone when they lose a challenge, because that person goes home.
Yeah.
And also, I don't want to be the one. I don't think I played baseball growing up. Like, I'm pretty athletic. Like, I don't think I'm going to be the one to screw up a challenge. And so, where's wood?
I was going to say, there's wood all around you. There we go.
But I just think that I need to play. I'm going to be playing hard the whole time, of course. But just especially if the tribe is not turning out to be that strong tribe, just be in the middle for a while, and then we're going to do a tribe swap, merge, something I'll be able to fully flourish,
Well, let's go from the beginning of the game to the end, because the thing that is so interesting about a Survivor jury vote is that there's limitless criteria that you can vote yay or nay on, in a manner of speaking. It could be likability, could be relationships, could be resume, story, etc.
Yeah.
At this moment, if there was one core tenet for you, if you were to say, I would want to vote for somebody who was blank, what would that be?
Yeah. It's funny that you say this, because one of the reasons I stopped watching for a couple seasons, and this was middle school, because me and my family were so upset that Russell Hands did not win. He is an asshole. Of course, we all know it. He'd say it. Game recognizes game, and I think that he worked his ass off, and then to not win that is tough. And so I think what I'm going to be looking for, what a jury vote should depend on, is just someone who was in beast mode the entire time. And so beast mode is challenges, it's social, it's everything involved. And so you might not agree with how Russell played and his strategy, but that's the strategy that worked to get him there. Every person is different. And so Russell was able to encapsulate all of that. You might not agree with something that everyone did, but they did what they had to do to get there. And so, even if I didn't like the way someone played or someone burned me, which they won't because I'm going to be at Final Tribal, I think that I'd be looking for someone who just all around, with the cards they were dealt, managed to make it that far and pull everything together.
last but certainly not least, you know how I finish things off, but I'm assuming you got an answer in mind already. Give me your celebrity or fictional loved one.
I know. I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about how I think it was Kyle was the only one who did like a cartoon character. And I was kind of just like, why would he do a cartoon character? But I think someone that, like, we're out here on an island. This is gonna sound so random, and don't judge me. I literally just watch mindless like TV, so I love Family Guy.
Okay.
And so having a Peter Griffin out here to just make you laugh, be like, you're such a fucking idiot, just would be a boost for everyone. And so I'd have Peter, weirdly, you know? I came up with that on the spot, you know, because I couldn't come up with one beforehand.
I mean, you talk about that Margarita curse. I think if Peter goes to that sanctuary, he's drinking production under the table.
I know, and that's what we need. So he'll have his beers, I'll have my margaritas, we'll be fine.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.